Hi doll! Hi YouTube, and I'm back with another blind box doll. And this time again, confirmed design I got through AliExpress. And the seller was super awesome, because even though for some reason the shipping company sent it back to the seller, and you just sent it right back to me again. Even though AliExpress told me I have to cancel my order because it couldn't be sent. And they were very easy to communicate with, and they understood what I was asking and saying, even though it was in a different language. Right, so the style is supposed to be glow. So this is Neo Eden's Nightmare Twins series. So in front of the box we have a gorgeous illustration of a player. We have some pink scallop edges on the top and bottom, the series name and logo, and we have 6+2 designs, and it's Neo Eden Toys. I think I said it. On the right side we have pictures of all of the possible characters you can get and their chances. The 6 main ones are naturally 1 in 6, and we have Glow, which is a 1 in 48 probability of getting, and Nightmare, a 1 in 96. You can see the box is dented. I'm not sure how it happened because she was shipped with bubble wrap and in another cardboard box. But on the back we have a yellow and pink diamond pattern, a lot of pink and pinkish details, all of the information in Chinese. And on the left side we have all of the information but in English. Top, the series logos with the tail strip, bottom Neo Eden Toys, and that's, we see a sticker here with the barcode from the AliExpress seller. It's a gorgeous box. Unfortunately it's a bit damaged. Open it up. So first we have a bunch of extra joints and the thing used to adjust the eyes. That are inset eyes. We have a little instruction booklet. All of the main parts and accessories. On the back, body measurements and how to change the hands and eyes. Pretty cute. Silica gel packet, and we have our character card. It is plastic and very glossy, with some gorgeous illustrations of Glow and Nightmare. In the back, just the series logo. With a packet of the clothes and the main doll. And first things first, she is bigger than I expected. So, first of accessories, we have a wand. From the looks of it, mine is a bit skew. Coming closer, it's nice gold paint. The wings do have a pink iridescent sheen, and the red is a clear gem, plastic gem. Okay. Next we have a back headpiece. We'll check that out later. We have 2 V hands. Not too detailed sculpting. Now a pair of fists. Feminine, not punching. Next we have her blank feet, because she comes wearing her shoes, which are a pair of exchangeable feet. Next we have her wings. They have magnets, and let's see if I can... They do have a pink iridescent finish. Unfortunately, it's not showing up on camera very well. They are sculpted quite nicely and slightly flexible. Now for Glow. She is wrapped in a plastic bag and she is quite hefty. Once again, she is much bigger than I thought she'd be. Oh, and that's a very strong plastic smell. For reference, here is a Monster High. So she has a bigger torso, although shorter legs. Okay. So getting up close and personal. She has a nice smile. It is sculpted in, including a bit of an indent for the teeth. Her hair itself does have a glitter effect, and the wings on her head is also finished with the pink iridescent paint. She has inset eyes. The pearls on her bun is just plain white, no finish there. The profile's nice. Okay, let's take a better look at her face without the head, the hair. Her eyes are already adjusted in place, and that's how they look from the back. It's a very interesting design here. Yeah, the hair doesn't really slide onto the face, it snaps onto the face more. And the headpiece is nice and sturdy, and the hair is flexible, so no worries about breaking. Okay, onto her body. She is pretty hefty, but her midsection is hollow. And she has a very nice matte finish. The sculpting is pretty plain, not much detail. Ow! Cinnamon! The cat. She comes with her left hand in a relaxed pose and her right hand in a holding pose for her staff. And here is the disturber. Bobby. What's about my Bobby? Like she said, she comes with her high heels, which has an interesting design. I'm thinking that these back pieces might supposed to be ruffles, though it's in the shape of a flower if you look from the bottom. I do seem to have a bit of a stain on her leg. Okay, that came off. Okay. Posing. Head, quite a bit back, not so much, quite a bit forward and not so much back. Side to side and going all the way around. Shoulder is on a hinge, so all the way up that way. She does have a bicep swivel. Anyway, all the way around, and a double jointed elbow. She's pretty tight. Okay, so quite a nice paint, not completely all the way, although it feels like it, but that's just because the plastic is flexible. The joint is nice and tight, though the color seems to be a bit different here around the joint area. Maybe because the plastic is thinner, I don't know. wrists all the way around. That way. I'm just trying to orient the joint properly. So side to side like that. Or yeah, that much that way, not a lot, but quite a bit back for the hands. Chest, quite a nice backwards without looking too obvious, and quite a bit forward slouch, side to side. The joint is nice and tight. We also have some twisting side to side. Okay, hips all the way forward and barely backward. And pretty good split. And she does have a thigh swivel. Knees are double jointed, although the range isn't that great. Well, it's a good range. Ankles all the way back, all the way forward, and 360-degree rotation at the ankle and the foot. The ankle joints is a bit small, the wrist joints as well, so it breaks up the silhouette compared to the elbow joints. And she has magnets in the back for her wings. They do sit nice and sturdy. And her hair pieces at the front is not limiting her movement. But her head does seem to be a tiny bit loose. I did mention she has some grey earrings. It's just a painted blob. Let's check out her toes. So first is these two ribbons. As far as I know, they go around her legs. Next we have these tiny sleeves. They are organza type fabric. And they do seem to have a very thin elastic in them. I would be careful not to break that. In her main dress, it's mostly satin. She has a wire in the bottom of her skirt for posing. We have a nice ruffle. I'm not sure what fabric this is. The skirt itself is double layered. And then we have the organza skirt, long skirt at the back. We have some satin ribbons. They are laser cut pieces of fabric. Back closes with some velcro. The dress at the front. We have some gold vinyl and a red gem. We do also have this button with an elastic on the other side for a closure. And on the neck there is no closure, so we have to take the head off. We do also have a small ruffle just below the bodice. Okay, so let's get glow dressed up. Before getting her dressed, I just put the blank bold head on, and it's quite difficult to get it on. There we go. There is a bit of a seam, visible seam on one side, but it fits nicely, and I'm probably going to struggle to take it off. So let's take it off and get her dressed. And there she is traced. So I didn't mention, her shoes have a very light dusting of a yellow iridescent paint. I have a slight bit of fraying here at her sleeve. Okay, so about her dressing, it wasn't too difficult. The ribbons around her legs are annoying, but at least they sit nicely here in between the foot and the legs joint. The bodice is stretchy, so don't worry if you don't immediately hook it upright, but that makes it nice and form-fitting. So, like I said, her dressing process was quite simple, nothing too complicated. So for these extra joints, I see we have 2 wrist joints. I'm assuming a chest joint, a neck joint, and 2 feet joints. By the way, the feet do come off easily, they're just on a peg, as do the hands. So, the staff fits in quite comfortably in the hand. So far she's a very nice figure with high quality, and she poses nicely and her accessories are pretty good. Although I'd have preferred another relaxed hand rather than what we got. But I guess it doesn't matter that much. So let's check how she looks with her feet. So her foot isn't properly on. So I'm struggling to get it on, mainly because it's made of PVC, and when it gets warmer, PVC expands. When it gets colder, it shrinks. So yeah, one problem I have with these blind block MJDs is that they are a bit difficult to get your hands and feet on and off. But nothing a bit of heating with a hairdryer or something can fix. So far, Glow is very cute and well made figure, and I'll play around with her. So I'll be back with my final thoughts. So here is Glow all dressed up and looking quite lovely. And that's another angel added to my collection. So about the clothes, first thing first, her head is really hard to get on and off. The elastic on the arm pieces are quite tiny, so I'm afraid that they'll lose their elasticity quite fast. Nothing much to say about the dress, other than it is also lined, and all of the edges have been laser cuts, it seems, so they're not going to fade easily. And the back train here is organza, and I haven't quite figured out how to handle the wire. And the ribbons on her legs are tedious. The ribbons on her legs were quite tedious, and they didn't come out looking like how I wanted, for once. It's one guide anyway. And they have nothing to really hold them in place. Other than that, she is a very lovely doll. And she looks good and she poses nicely. And she's quite nice quality. And the problems I have with her, well, except the head and the ribbons, are mostly superficial and problems that might occur instead of would actually occur, like fraying and such, as well as the exchangeable hands being a bit difficult to get on because of the nature of the PVC. So, would I recommend her? Honestly, since she's one of the specials or exclusives or hiddens or whatever, she was a bit expensive. But I got her for about 1,000 South African rand. And honestly, with her design, I think she's worth that price. If not for her design, I probably wouldn't exactly say she's worth that price. Because it's a personal preference and it heavily depends on my tastes. So, she's pretty nice and I am happy to have her. So, next up, a bit comparison. She is listed as a 1/8 scale. Here she is to another 1/8 scale doll. As you can see, she is much bigger. And that is one of the Sugary Girls dolls, and I find the scaling quite accurate. So I don't think she's 1/8 scale. Next we have one of Jidong Junqi's Baskin Sicily boys, also listed as 1/8 scale, and also very tiny in comparison. And next, one of my Mama Tail dolls, also listed 1/8, and still very small. And here she is to pretty much what is a Barbie size doll, which is usually 1/6 scale, and she is the one small this time. So I'd place her at around 1/7 scale. And please excuse poor Anastasia, she is very much due for a good cleanup. So although I might not recommend Glow herself for everyone, except if you like her design, but I definitely recommend the line of dolls she is from. The Neon Eden Toys Angel and Demon series. And thanks for watching, stay tuned for pictures. Bye.